10 seconds.
Bye, Taurean.
Hand tool check, please.
6, 5,
Let's go to
4,
black.
3.
Order. Taste the memory.
Ultimate Control Remote Controlled Universal Remote Control. If you buy every bullshit tech device that hits the market, you should buy this one too.
Hey out there, I'm the Loud House Critic, one guy with 1,000 views and all the episodes I must review. So I suppose you guys didn't feel comfortable about last week's review because it was centered so much around the pets. I know, some of these episodes that are centered around the pets can feel boredom, dull, snorefest to most people. But for this next episode review, we're actually in March, which means I have another Lola and Lana episodes to review. And get ready or not, and get your engine started for Wheel and Deal. It is the 43rd episode of Season 4 of The Loud House, and overall the 192nd episode. When I heard this episode and when I saw the title card, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be a racing episode. And I love racing games and I love NASCAR. I was really hyped for it because I'm all about racing in person. I've won 4 bike races on the 4th of July in a row, but this was before COVID actually hit us. And with this being a Lana Loud episode, I really was actually gonna love this episode. And this is also the first episode which Asher Bishop actually voices Lincoln due to Tex hitting puberty in the last one. But is this episode worth racing down the pathway and reaching the finish line and getting the checkered flag? Or is it really gonna be a disqualifying episode? Let's race. So one great start about this episode is we have Lincoln and Clyde actually playing a racing game. Reminds me of my own self when I was young, playing Sonic Racing and doing Muppet Race Mania. Oh, these were really timeless games during Sega Saturn and PlayStation was invented during the 90s.
Turbo-tastic, player. You crushed the time for this track. Way to stay safe, player 2.
Talk about lane racing, and why in the fuck is Clyde even wearing a helmet? He's not even in a go-kart. Yeah, and you know, also seeing a game like this makes me want to go play NASCAR Rumble.
Lana, how long have you been in there?
And how are you even able to fit in there, is my biggest question.
Long enough to see what a good driver you are, and to find this old donut.
Ça c'est toujours délicieux.
You bet the hell not.
Let's pray that this doesn't start another pandemic.
Lincoln, how'd you like to put those driving skills to the test in real life? And help your favorite sister impress her hero?
Sign up now for the Royal Woods Go-Kart Grand Prix. First prize is a ride with superstar racer
Bobby Fletcher.
Oh, it's good to see Bobby Fletcher again. I'm just grateful they didn't waste her like they did with some characters. And I am still praying that they don't waste Chloe from Brave the Last Dance. And seeing how cute Lana is with stars in her eyes, she's been daydreaming about meeting Bobby Fletcher in person once more again.
Hey, Lana, ready for our ride?
Hop in.
Did that car just speak? Nah, I couldn't be. I'm just seeing things again. Or am I?
I don't care if I'm dreaming. Nobody pinch me. Buckle up.
Let's fly!
I just could have sworn I just saw that car talking and flying. Why do I feel that Pixar's cars just suddenly became chitty chitty bang bang all of a sudden?
Chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang.
Don't you pull that shit now!
Oh, I beg your pardon.
Me too.
So if that was so easy for you to get sucked into, we come back to reality. As for Lincoln being an expert on driving virtual cars, Lana actually wants him as her co-driver, and he actually agrees to join her.
Presenting Loud Lightning.
Lana, that's a bathtub. And are those Lily's old stroller wheels?
Don't focus on what it is, Link. Focus on what it will be.
That's probably one of the best deliveries that Lana delivers, because if you're gonna build a cart of your own to actually enter in the race, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, nothing's perfect. Just actually build it how the way you want it to be, as long as it's got speed. I mean, I've seen some weirder vehicles before, especially in Muppet Race Mania. I've seen a chef drive a hot dog. I've seen a prawn drive a go-kart. I've seen a bunny drive a snow vehicle. I've seen an eagle drive an airplane, a pig actually in a monster truck. But I press a stop after that one. And a rat riding in a cheese cart? Like I said, I've seen a bunch of weird shit before with the Muppets, but somehow I just overlooked it.
Hey, why don't we soup up Lolo's old princess Jeep instead? That's something humans are actually meant to drive.
You know, if I wanted to drive a fancy princess Jeep, I would have to be in a dress first. And that won't even look right on me. But fuck that shit. This would be violating the spirit of the race. And Lana actually has this to say.
A true racer builds her own car from scratch. That's what Bobby Fletcher does, and that's what I'm going to do too.
I love how Lana is feeling so confident and not gonna give a shit about what anybody says about the vehicle she makes. I've seen the Little Rascals actually make their own vehicle after when their original vehicle, the Blur, actually got stolen by Butch and William, and they made it some things out of a washing machine, and I don't know what else, how they did it. But they totally succeeded making it. If they can do it, then so can Lana.
But this thing doesn't even have an engine.
Not yet. But thanks to my connections down at the scrapyard, that is gonna change. We'll make this tub purr in no time.
Let's get it started in here.
So Lana and Lincoln actually start putting things together to actually make Lana's perfect vehicle handmade.
They say we are what we are, but we don't have to be. I'm bad behavior, but I do it in the best way. I'll be the watcher of the eternal flame. I'll be the guard dog of all your favorite dreams. I am the sand in the bottom half of the hourglass.
Fucked up.
I'll try to picture me without you, but I...
Wow, this thing is starting to look like an actual car.
That is totally wicked. I always used to think that I could make my own kind of vehicle every time when I watched the movie Twister. But the way Lana actually built this vehicle, it actually totally fixes up everything from my childhood fantasy.
It's gonna drive like one too. Let's take it for a spin.
Watch this. GPS? DVD?
Emergency bacon?
It's not bacon, it's beacon. Emergency beacon.
Sorry.
Buckle up.
The feather boa seatbelts were a nice touch.
Thanks. Now let's get out of here before Lola realizes they're gone.
Yeah, she can throw a hissy fit for all I fucking care. Nobody cares. She'll much likely get over and live.
I'm telling you, Clyde, the competition doesn't stand a chance against Loud Lightning. I feel sorry for them.
Oh, so we got some other competitors for this race. Oh, guess who this is from a certain episode that nobody gave a shit about him in. Waiting Game, Tears for Fears, that son of a bitch Schooled. You know, seeing vehicles like that, it looked like they just purchased those vehicles and didn't even make them by themselves. Otherwise, they would kind of look like a bit of like Lana's vehicle, no offense. Those look cool, but Lana's is way better.
Hey, Chandler. Nice ride. What kind of engine all in this bad boy. V8, V12, V64.
Palace.
Fisherama.
Mail order.
eBay. I don't know, we just bought it. Did you weirdos just come out of that bush?
No.
Never mind that. What about building your car from scratch like Bobby Fletcher?
You find this amusing? Maybe it's me, I'm a little fucked up, maybe. But I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to fucking amuse you.
Who's got time for that?
Anybody, if you're smart enough to know mechanics and engineering, which I highly doubt that you even are. By the way, this might sound a little stupid, but then again, some people might agree with me on this. Does that symbol on his shirt looks like the coronavirus? Because honestly, I have no fucking idea what that even looks like, but how the way I took a closer look at his shirt, it looks like something like this.
But don't you care about the spirit of the race?
Newsflash. We just care about winning. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think you have some dust to eat.
Survey says, fuck you!
I swear, if he does anything to Lana Loud in this race, I'm going to strangle this kid with a phone cord. Only if he was over 18. But anyhow, Lincoln actually comes back to the house and actually tells Lana half of the bad news. But before he can even say so, Lana actually makes something for him as soon as she gets done fixing the axle of her new vehicle. Oh.
Loud lightning helmets. I even made one for Bobby. She and I can wear them everywhere. The movies, the racetrack, the burpin' burger.
Oh, this kid is damn smart, and I love this kid. She's always thinking one step ahead.
Look, Lana, I've seen the competition. They're all driving crazy fancy cars from this catalog. Maybe we should too, just to be safe.
Doubt! Another unmistakable sign of the heebie-jeebies.
Is that a doubt I'm actually hearing in your voice, Lincoln? And that voice sounds a little bit squeaky. But what the hell, it's somebody new in the spotlight to voice Lincoln Loud. At least he kind of gets better, sort of. And that name, Lightning, it's kind of close to Lightning McQueen from Pixar's Cars. I bet a lot of boys were actually happy to actually hear that name.
Just leaf through the catalog. I circled some models you might like. If we get a loan from Lolo. Hey, you didn't even open it.
Don't need to. I have faith in our car. I know Loud Lightning can win this thing.
So Lana, not listening to Lincoln sometimes as usual, ignores his advice. And Lincoln and Clyde actually go back to the racetrack to see how much fast those vehicles go. Even that dickheaded Chandler's vehicle.
We'll never beat their time.
Never say never, Lincoln. Won't get far in life if you keep saying those words.
It's not fair at all. Lana worked harder on her car than anyone else, and now she's gonna be humiliated in front of her hero.
How can you be so sure about that? I mean, no offense, Lincoln always jumps to conclusions when something's always gonna go wrong. By the way, did anyone see the slightest error on that Dude Stick Chandler shirt? The shirt color actually changed. And to refresh your memory, in season 1, he was wearing a light green color on his shirt, as you saw in the waiting game. And in season 2 and 3, with Judas for Fears and Shell Shock as he made a cameo appearance, his shirt turns yellow. And currently right now, from season 4 to 5, he actually has a darker green shirt.
But I'm the only one who built my own car.
But you lost, and Bobby Fletcher only rides with winners.
By the way, as I stated before in Snow Way Out, Bobby Fletcher is still voiced by legendary Dale Earnhardt's granddaughter and the niece of Dale Earnhardt Jr. And that name, Bobby Fletcher, kind of sounds familiar to someone from Crank Yankers.
Sorry, kid.
God, that is still so odd to me, seeing the car fly. In Looney Tunes back in action, they can get away with shit like that because that was a spy car, but I never actually see an actual car from NASCAR actually fly.
No, Lana is not going down like that. If everyone else is gonna cut corners, so can we. But I'll need help.
You see where this is going? I don't think I have to point this out to a 5th grader about what Lincoln's going to do in this next part, especially about what he's thinking of doing right now.
I don't know. It's not so much cheating as it is giving Lana a fair chance over the cheaters.
That's different. In reality, you can't cheat in a race like that way. But in a video game, it's okay to do so because it's a video game and not a real deal. Shoot, I know my shortcuts when I play a racing video game all the time.
Did you see what he just did? Didn't see him coming. Do you have flight insurance? Do you treat your mama's car like that? Dominate him! Don't blow it here, buddy.
Now then, we're actually at the race, and Lincoln and Lana show up.
Racers to the starting line.
Hey, those are my feather boas!
Oh, look at me! I'm making people happy! I'm the magical man from Happy Land in a gumdrop house on Lollipop Lane! Oh, by the way, I was being sarcastic.
No shit, Sherlock.
You're seriously driving that? It looks like you made it yourself.
Yeah, we did. You just wait till the race starts, punk. You're gonna eat their dust.
If he wants to fuck with me in public, I will fuck right back.
Please do not do this.
Please do that shit.
You know, I give Lynn credit for actually saying that kind of shit to Chandler. I just wish someone she could just beat this guy's ass one day. Well, maybe she might. I hope she does.
We got this, Lons.
Glad you finally believe in loud lightning.
What can I say? I've just got a feeling things are gonna go our way.
I don't know about that. Besides, how the fuck did Lincoln even plan all this stuff already earlier? I don't know, that's just nitpicking. Anyways.
Let's all give a warm welcome to our guest of honor, Bobby Fletcher.
There she is. Right. Okay, Lons, focus.
But I'll beat your ass later, House, for slapping me with your tongue. Well, at least he didn't slap her with his frog dick like someone else did.
You ever been slapped across your face with a frog dick? Huh?
Oh, hell no. You ain't gonna...
What was that? I couldn't hear you that time. It sounded like you had a frog dick in your mouth.
Speaking of, how many out there think that J.B. Smoove might actually make a good Mr. Smee in a funny parody of Peter Pan?
I'm coming, mother... I'm coming! Knocking at my door!
Before we can even start this race, I just want to welcome a little special guest star who's been in a Disney movie, actually the 52nd Disney film, and then she reappeared again in its sequel, and she's quite a racer herself too. Please welcome Penelope Von Sweet.
Hello, chump. Salutations, felicitations, etc., and so forth.
Hey Penelope, and salutations to you too. It's great to actually have you here on the Loud House Critic show.
Whoa, you're a tall one, aren't you? Did you miss me?
Well, sort of, maybe.
You missed me, didn't you? Admit it.
Okay, yes, I did really miss you after seeing Wreck-It Ralph. Until then, when I saw you again in Ralph Breaks the Internet, you were so amazing in the movie. Even when you saw the Disney Princesses, that was the best part of the movie I ever saw you in.
Hey, why don't you like me? I'm adorable.
Yes, you are adorable, Penelope, but as of right now, we're getting ready to start the race.
Come on, let's go. On Sweets for the win. Thank you.
Okay, don't start a fire yet. I know you actually want to race. You gotta get back to Disney so soon.
You bet your sweet gumdrops I'm in. I'm ready as I'll ever be. I was born to race.
So get your seatbelt on and start starting your engine, Von Sweet, because the race is about to begin.
Point me to the fun, Captain. I am ready to go. This should be a piece of cake. Well, not literally, but, well, you know what I mean. Winning's in my code!
Oh, and by the way, if Chandler tries anything stupid, hammer him.
Bring it on! I'll show him what's what. For you, anything. Racing must be in your code, too.
Yeah, racing is actually in my code as well, too. But I gotta review Loud House episodes.
Cheer up! Every cloud's got a silver lining, or a candy coating, or, anything? Nothing at all?
So, YouTube viewers, let's watch the race. Knock 'em dead, Von Sweet.
Come on, it'll be a blast!
Fire up those engines, folks. First one around the Royal Woods Raceway will be the winner.
All the money in the world, no substitute for hard work and ingenuity.
You lead a rich fantasy life.
Thank you.
Moron.
Ready, set, go!
You're mine!
I don't believe it. Oh well, racing is a
You snot like Star Racer! Finders keepers, losers suck!
Go f yourself.
Gosh golly gee williger zimmity jippity doo, Batman! Those policemen are pretty rude!
Robin, law enforcement officers are the backbone of our society. Motherfuckers!
And we're stopping. Lightning, you got this! Go for Operation Magna Beast.
Have some of this!
I knew my baby could do it!
You little rascals!
Sorry! 10 points for the old guy!
Here's a little trick. Woo, yeah! Now, remember how this feels.
Go for Operation Pig Parade. Showtime, y'all. Sweet!
It's the glitch! It's glitched! Let him up, Channelhead!
I don't believe in cheating, Batman! I believe in doing what's right!
If you don't want a bat bitch slap, you'll launch the bat net and take down those cops.
We're so close to the other cars, I can smell them! Wait, that's not exhaust? That smells like...
Mario, we're losing! It's time to use the brute torture shell, no?
Do it, you magnificent stereotypical bastard.
Sweet, sweet mud! Not now, Lana. This is our chance. Get out of that ramp! Right, right!
Hope nobody saw that. Hey, always time for payment.
Alright, gotta keep it under control.
Big air! Big air! Ah! Thank you, bro.
The finish line is just ahead! We can't let them pass us now!
Relax, they won't! I've been saving my secret weapon for the home stretch! We're going turbo! Said turbo! Go turbo!
Go for Operation Wingman!
Come on, show them what you're made of. Come on, win this thing! Congratulations, Grandma. Crude, but sweet. Darn potholes. Dazzled by the sun. Did you get that license plate?
What the heck's going on here? I'm just as baffled as you. Where could those have come from?
And there goes the driver without his steering wheel. And here comes one of the cliches of all that much some people hate. The liar reveal. The cheating one, not the utter liar reveal.
Cut the baloney. You're making us cheat. Then you've been doing this the whole time. All the weird stuff that happened during the race, it's been you.
Guess the cat's out of the bag, eh?
Lana, you don't. Zip it, Lincoln. You're fired as my co-driver.
Didn't know she would have ejection seats. In fact, I wonder if they'll actually make cars like that will actually have those kind of seats. Especially if it's a car that could actually drive on water. But instead of crossing the finish line like that dickhead Chandler did, she actually goes back to the start line and actually start the race all over the right way. And I hope Penelope's okay.
Lana, wait, please, I'm sorry.
Look at the look on Hobbs' face, how the way he's got his arms crossed, the same way he did to Lincoln before in Toad and Tierra.
I was just trying to level the playing field. The race was never going to be fair with all those store-bought cars.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't care about the other cars.
You know, there's actually one thing I gotta criticize about this race, but I think I'm actually gonna save it until I get to the actual results. And the ending here gets so much better between Lana and Lincoln as usual.
But I thought you wanted to win.
Yeah, but not like that. I wanted to win like a true racer, like Bobby. And that's why I'm starting over.
That's really honorable.
Speaking of, wasn't Toad and Tierra considered cheating as well too, considering that how Lincoln had Lana dress up like Lola? So Lana actually accepts Lincoln's apology and actually goes back to the start line. They actually finished the race the right way, like a true racer.
I should have let you do the race your way in the first place.
I get it. You were trying to be a good big brother.
So, you still need a co-driver?
Hop in. All right, let's do this. Hops.
You idiot!
Don't you know we really have to go to a place?
But I can actually say as hours later, nighttime falls, Lana is actually still racing until she actually makes it to the finish line. And the crowd is gone and the Louds are actually falling asleep.
We finally made it. Too bad no one's awake to see us cross the finish line.
I am. Congratulations. I gotta say, I'm impressed. You're the only team who built their own car. In fact, I'd love to take it for a spin.
Lana actually wins the race. That means all the others got disqualified.
Wait a minute.
What about the little rascal? I mean, Penelope. Wait, what's this? Deepest regrets, Mr. Critic. I had to leave the race because yada yada yada. It was a pleasure to be on your show a little, but I had to go as soon as I finished the race. Well, that settles it. Love that kid. Racing was always in her code. So anyways.
Of course, Bobby. But wait, I made you something.
Wow, I love it. I could wear this everywhere. The movies, the racetrack, the bourbon burger.
Hey, that's kind of what Lana said to you before you planned to cheat in the race.
I know. It's called a cruel irony, like my dependence on you.
So Lana's getting ready to burn some rubber with Bobby. And by the way, I hope Mixed Tunes on DeviantArt can actually do Bobby Fletcher. And what kind of eye colors would you give her?
Woo! Let's ride!
Get ready to burn some rubber. Oops.
Well, win a few, lose a few.
Well, I'm actually grateful that actually didn't happen in the race at all.
Don't sweat it, Lana. My first car broke down all the time, too. Want some help with repairs?
That'd be great.
I love how Bobby just politely offered to help Lana fix her vehicle, just like the way Lana actually fixed Bobby's vehicle in Snow Way Out. And in the words of Lightning McQueen, ka-chow.
Seriously, what the fuck was up with that?
So we made it to the finish line with Wheeling Deal. Well, this is kind of an average episode. It's another Lana Loud-centered episode, and yet she still gets the checker flag in the axe run. Kind of like how Lightning McQueen did in the end of Cars after helping the king out finish the race. But I'm actually grateful that Lana didn't actually crash in the race. And speaking of that, when watching this in Cars again, Chandler kind of reminded me of Chick actually in that movie. And speaking about him, why the hell was he even in this episode? This was nothing for filler in competition with Lincoln and Lana. You could actually cut him out and just let Lana and Lincoln play this out on their own. And another thing about this, something I actually noticed when watching this again, him and all the other competitors should have been disqualified if this was all supposed to be about using your own homemade vehicle in the actual race, when they had theirs all purchased, when Lana and Lincoln actually should have been the ones to be able to race. They should not. They would have all been disqualified. But I'm still much grateful that Chandler didn't crash Lana in the race. I would have really hated this guy even more. Well, fuck, face the facts. I really already hate this guy, even when I saw Schooled in Seasons cheating. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that by now. But to be really honest about this episode, I was really happy to actually see Bobby Fletcher, who came from Snow Way Out, in this episode. It does actually have a lesson about cheating. However, I'm really grateful that Lincoln actually made it up in the end, and Lana still gets the prize, even if she had to start the race all over again until nightfall fell by. But I'm grateful that Bobby was actually still there. It's kind of like don't judge a book by its cover, or don't judge a driver by their vehicle, no matter how terrible it actually looks. I'm actually fascinated with the vehicle she made. It kind of reminds me of a PlayStation 2 game of Cartoon Network with all the cartoon characters actually racing, with Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, Count Chicken, Johnny Bravo, the list goes on. However, it still gets the green light and it's still passable to watch, especially if you like Lana Loud. And you know what? Somewhat, I would actually like if this Lana Loud episode actually played it out on her own without Lincoln in it, because there were 3 other episodes that had Lincoln and Lana actually in it. Toads and Tiara, Game Off, and Frog Wild. The best ones we ever got. But I especially like how the way Game Off actually did it, considering that Game Off and Wheel and Deal are actually in Season 4. But somehow Game Off kind of felt like it was a Season 1 Loud House episode. That's not a bad thing, it's actually really a good thing. Personally good Lincoln and Lana episodes. I would put this one right next to Game Off because they're still passable to watch. I'm the Loud House Critic, and everybody supersonic racing, or should I say Super Lana Loud racing.
In the loud house, duck, dodge, push and shove, it's how we show our love. In the loud house, one boy and 10 girls wouldn't trade it for the world.